Okay, we're going to have a look at this essay. I'll get the criteria, we'll take a look at that, and that's what we'll be comparing it to. Okay, now first things first, I noticed this is too long, 342 words, too long, and we'll see one of the consequences is repetition, which we have in paragraph 3 and 2. You've got 2 or 3 sentences where you essentially say the same, which is not good for cohesion and a coherence score. So what I'll do, I'll go through first, check the grammar and vocab, and we'll come back to the criteria. So, many famous athletes advertise different products. What are the advantages and disadvantages of athletes advertising different products? Today, a wide range of brands are endorsed by many well-known sport or sports stars. This trend includes some merits such as financial improvement of companies, as well as some drawbacks of increasing consumerism. You mean consumer culture, if it's being used as a noun phrase, consumer culture, among the younger, definite article, generation. A company which has hired famous sport persons or sporting personalities or sports persons to advertise their goods will gain a great financial progression in their businesses. You mean they will make a profit? Great financial progression? That's not very good. So, as most people generally take sports stars as their main role, they tend to follow those athletes' lifestyles. A certain advertised product, then, will be purchased by lots of spectators of those characters. What does that mean, spectators of those characters? You mean fans. So, let me, spectators of characters, that's not good for collocation. Financial progression of businesses, that's not good also. I'll make a note of those. To follow those athletes' lifestyle, lots of spectators of those characters, you mean fans. This growing trend will result in a huge increase in sales and the financial profit of companies, or those companies, or whichever companies you're talking about, of those companies, with a pronoun there. Furthermore, this phenomenon can contribute athletes to raise their popularity. Well, it's not. Well, for one thing, it's not a phenomenon, is it? It's simply sales. Can contribute to. You've got your preposition in the wrong place. To raising the popularity through frequently being in the public eye. That's the expression, not public eyes. When athletes attend advertising TV programs, attend. How can you attend a TV program? Do you mean when they make advertisements? Because that's not the same thing at all. Advertising TV programs? You mean when they make advertisements? Many audiences, well, how many audiences do you think there are? Will watch them several times a day. Who says that they will? And even individuals who did not used to know them, who did not know them, such as the older generation with no interest in sport. This is a long sentence, almost a run-on sentence. When athletes attend advertising TV programs, many audiences will watch them several times a day, and even individuals who did not know them, such as the older generation with no interest in sport, will be familiar with these sport persons, these sporting persons, or sports personalities, you could say. However, product endorsement by athletes might make them money-minded people. Money-minded people? What does that mean? Rather than sportsmen focusing on their play, and it's not just men. You could have made that athletes, instead of sports men, because it's not just sportsmen, is it? They're more likely to concentrate on advertising and consider this trend as an alternative career. Well, they don't consider it as an alternative. I mean, most of these people do it at the same time. Since making money in this way would be far easier than playing difficult games. This is another long sentence. Rather than sportsmen focusing on their play, they are more likely to concentrate on advertising and consider this trend as an alternative career, since making money in this way would be far easier than playing difficult games. This great tendency to gain more income, you mean to earn more money, can make them money lover ones, can make them money lovers. I'm not sure what that means, which may lead to a decrease in their performance as well. So this tendency to gain more income, you mean when they earn more, but don't they earn a lot from the sport? So this makes no sense. In addition, these adverts might persuade teenagers to follow consumer culture. Many youngsters have a great emotional tendency. Emotional tendency, which means what? To follow sports stars, and they may pester their parents to buy some expensive products which are not their real needs. These adults who are purchasing goods, hang on, you just said that they may pester their parents. So now you're saying that they are purchasing goods themselves? So that's not the same, is it? Only due to their extreme loves, or extreme love toward, you mean of, their favourite athletes are more likely to waste their money in their future lives. Who says so? Okay, to conclude, all product endorsement by athletes has brought financial promotion. What does that mean? Financial promotion? You mean increased profit for the companies and increased the popularity of some sports stars. It's not all. It might have some demerits, including athletes being money concentrated, as well as teenagers being tempted to buy more and more. So we've got some tricky vocab here. Now, task achievement first, right? I'm going to get my pen out. All parts of the prompt directly answers the question. Ideas relevant for the extended well supported? No, because you have no examples. You have no examples. Main ideas are extended and supported, overly general, I think. But again, you've got no clear examples. Right, insufficiently developed. Supporting arguments and evidence, you have none. Maybe less relevant or inadequate. So, do we have any particular examples? So, famous sports persons, such as whom? Who are you talking about? Advertise their goods. What kind of goods? Sports stars. Who? A certain product. What product? Will be purchased by lots of spectators of those characters. So this tells me nothing. Tells me nothing. Do you have any particular examples in this paragraph? No. Many youngsters, sports stars may pester their parents when not their real needs, are more likely to. There's no specifics, there's no examples there. You've got no clear examples, no supporting arguments. It's not really relevant or adequate. So I'll say, okay, I'll give it 6 for that. There's simply no examples. So, message can be followed, cohesion, message can be followed, right, logical sequence, okay, paragraphing, we're coming down. Is there progression? No, and I'll show you why. Clear central topic, sequencing, logic, right, repetition, logic coming down here a little bit, repetitive, okay, right. So what do I mean by this? Well, let's see. Progression means that things move along. This sentence leads to a different sentence, which leads to this, which leads to that. So the company which has hired famous sports person to advertise their goods will gain a great financial progression. Okay, let's choose a different colour. Let's make it light cyan. What's the difference between that sentence and this? It's the same. You said the same thing. So what else do we have? So the company which hired famous sportsmen goes to get a great financial progression. This trend was a huge increase in sales and profit. How was that? A progression. That's the same. Most people take sports stars and their roles, this phenomenon, their popularity, and the sports with familiar with sporting persons. Okay, so progression, not so good there because you say the same thing. So you say the companies will make some cash. Most people take sports stars as their role models. They follow these lifestyles. Therefore, if they advertise things, they will buy them, which will result in a huge increase in profit, which you've already said. This phenomenon can contribute to athletes raising their popularity. Well, they must be popular in any case, otherwise people wouldn't buy the crap that they advertise. So many audiences watch sometimes again. So this is circular. This argument is circular. They advertise as popular, but they'll be popular because they're popular. So that's circular. That's not a progression. So product endorsement by athletes might make them money-minded people. So how's that different from this great tendency to gain more income can make them money lovers? What's the difference between those two sentences? They're the same. So more concentrate on advertising, making money in this way, far easier in playing difficult games, making money. Right. So rather than focusing on their play, what's the difference between that and lead to a decrease in their performance? What's the difference? Isn't that exactly the same thing? I think so. So, in addition, these adverts might persuade teenagers to follow consumer culture. False sports stars might spread products, so that's machine gun athletes. So, many youngsters have a great emotional tendency to follow sports stars. These adolescents, due to their extreme love of their favourite athletes. Isn't that the same? Isn't that you've said the same thing essentially twice there? To conclude, financial promotion, increase of popularity, have some demerits, blah 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 blah. So I would give it 6. 6 then. Repetition, clear progression. I don't think it's bad enough for 5, but I'd give it 6 then. So 6 and 6. Vocab now. What do we have here? Do we have a full range of vocabulary? Sophisticated control, minor errors, no. Skillful use of uncommon items, no. There's some errors in word formation, not so many. Inappropriacies, this is what I'm looking for. We have some inappropriacies. High degrees of inaccuracy or inappropriacy. So it's okay. The meaning is clear, but spectators of those characters attend advertising, TV programs, finance or profit. Well, obviously, it's a profit. What else? Certain advertised product. What else did I see that I didn't like? Financial improvement of companies. You've said that a couple of times. So sports stars. So there's some effort, paraphrasing, sports persons, sports stars, athletes, but still companies. We've got a lot of that. Athletes, money-minded people. So there's some good vocab here. There's some inappropriacies. This great tendency to gain more income. That's no good. Great tendency. We wouldn't say that. Emotional tendency. We wouldn't say that either. What did I see? Where is it? Money lovers, oh yeah. Might make them money lover ones, that's not so good. What was that other one? Spectators of those characters, yeah. So we've got some inaccuracies and inappropriacies. I don't think we can go down any further. So I would give it 666 so far, and errors in grammar, punctuation, error-free sentences. Do we have those? Do we have a majority of sentences error-free? We don't. I counted these a while ago. We've got, was it 14 sentences, and only 5 are without a grammatical mistake. So I would have to give it 6. I would have to give it 6 all round. 6. Missing article, singular, plural, verb forms, a disagreement. Wrong form word, consumer, not consumerism. Money lovers should be plural, a compound noun. Verb form, missing article, preposition, verb form, etc. So there's a few things. Verb form, be, am, is, was, were, article. Sports, if it's a compound, if it's an abstract noun, then you make it a plural. So we've got some problems with the grammar as well. So I think I would not be being too unfair if I give it 6. Okay, so main thing, right? Going 1, 2, 3, 4. Task achievement. It's too vague. I don't know what you're talking about. Some athletes do some things with some companies and advertise some goods to somebody for something, somewhere, somehow. What does that mean? Not a lot. So be specific, and we need clear, specific examples to illustrate your points. Too many sentences. You only need 4, 5 at the most. 4. Look at, that's far too long for a paragraph. 4 sentences, 5 at the absolute most. Avoid repetition. That's the cohesion and coherence part. Repetition. You said the same thing twice. So be specific, be focused. Who, how, where, what, why. What are you talking about? We need a clear, specific example. Don't repeat yourself. Clear, specific example. Don't repeat yourself. Who are these people? Who are you talking about? Are you talking about football players? Are you talking about basketball players? Any specific people? We've no idea. It's far too vague. Okay. Inappropriacies, vocab. Some of the paraphrasing is good. Use of synonyms in some instances is good, but there's certain inappropriacies, as I've pointed out, and too many grammatical mistakes, mainly articles and verb forms. So you need to work on those 4, and if you do, I'm sure you'll progress. Okay, hope that helps.